Good morning. Welcome to the Brew Market Shifts. Nvidia's downgrade, Macy's rally, and Bitcoin sell-off. We're going to talk about these with Paulina right after this. Oh, hey, we have to lead in. I love it. You know we're working on cooler music for that?
I mean, this music is pretty cool if you ask me.
Yeah, it is. It is. Hi, Paulina. How are you?
I'm great, Lex. How are you?
I'm awesome. It's great to see you. We're back on our Friday get together. No Molly today. Molly had to be away, so it's just you and me. So we're gonna knock this down together, just the two of us. So I am shocked, I must say, to see the Nvidia downgrade. I thought it was never going to be downgraded, ever.
I know everybody thought that this day would never come, right?
Yeah. Is this a big deal downgrade or is this a little deal downgrade?
Well, I don't think that Wall Street as a whole is really taking this downgrade too seriously, because when we think about artificial intelligence and Nvidia, they're kind of synonymous, and that's been what's driving the market and the economy over the past year and a half. Nvidia was the best performing stock in 2023, and so far this year it's still been one of the best performing mega cap techs. But yeah, there's this Wall Street firm called New Street. They downgraded Nvidia on valuation concerns. And what the analyst did here, he took the stock from a buy rating to a neutral, which is a downgrade. And he was saying that the stock is getting fully valued after it had this massive rally last year and year to date. And he said that obviously it's still a high quality company, but the analyst is skeptical of what the outlook beyond next year is going to look like, under the assumption that growth will be material beyond next year. So basically he's skeptical that the outlook on growth for next year is going to be what the overall street says it is.
Okay.
So that was the call there.
Yeah. So this isn't dramatic. It doesn't seem like, right? Fully valued. So I'm seeing that its current PE ratio is around 75. It seems like it's in the ballpark for these kind of stocks, right? Doesn't seem outrageous, does it?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that this really sparked concern amongst others. I think it only got news because it was the only downgrade that we've seen to date for Nvidia. So it definitely sounded like a bizarre call given the strength of Nvidia's fundamentals and, as we said, the association it has with AI. So right now, Nvidia trades at roughly more than 22 times estimated revenue over the next 12 months,
right,
which does make it the most expensive stock in the S&P 500 at the moment. But everything, the fundamentals are intact, and growth is expected to be substantial at least over the next year.
Yeah. So how do you feel about it? I know you're not an advisor, and neither am I. So this is not investment advice. It's just an opinion. Are you still bullish on this one? I think I'm bullish. I'll come right out and say it. I think I'm a perma bull for a while on Nvidia.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. And if I was able to own stocks, I would definitely own Nvidia, because I think that the growth that's expected for the company ahead is pretty impressive. And if you just take a look at the business model, where its customers need to update the technology every so few years, they're going to require new technology from Nvidia. So they essentially have recurring revenue from some of the biggest customers like Meta, Amazon, and all these mega cap techs that require their technology in order to power their AI systems. Right. So I think that's a great investment case.
Yeah, I still like it. I'm putting on bullish butterflies.
Yeah.
Bullish butterfly. It sounds so poetic. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like it still. I don't know. I'm not a bear on this one. what's going on with Macy's? So Macy's is the department store, right?
Yeah.
It is in rally mode, huh? Which kind of surprises me. What's going on there?
It is surprising because, yes, Macy's, this iconic retailer, it's been around forever, it seems. It really hasn't been doing well over the past few years. It's been experiencing a lot of declines in sales. It's been losing market share because there's a lot of competition from these newer retailers that are a little bit more innovative than Macy's has been. But the stock went up nearly 10% last week. And this was after some activist investors stepped in and they increased their bid to buy out Macy's. So there were two investors that came in. One is called Ark House Management and their partner Brigade Capital Management. They originally put in an offer to buy out Macy's for 5.8 billion. I think the original offer was, but they upped that to 6.9 billion. Of course, Macy's rejected the earlier bid. They haven't responded to the latest bid, but that news sparked a rally in Macy's stock.
Okay. So I'm surprised at this one not only because, but because it seems like traditional brick and mortar type department stores like Macy's has a tough lift with the online shopping world. And I'm probably wrong about it, but I don't know. I'm a great shopper, by the way. For a dude, I'm a great shopper. And I used to love going to the department store. I used to love Nordstrom's particularly.
Yeah.
And I still love Nordstrom's, but I never go. It's so easy just to get on your phone. If I need something, I Google it and it pops up and boom, or I Instagram it now because everything's on Instagram because they know I like to buy things.
Right.
And they bombard me with this stuff. It's so simple. So I'm curious, I guess, best way to say it.
Yeah, it's a curious case here of Macy's because there's a lot of growing competition from other big retailers that have a heavier presence online. The first thing that comes to mind is Amazon. They've been really killing it in their e-commerce game. Their retail margins are expected to be incredible over the next year. But not only that, others that are taking advantage of their online presence. There's just more growing retailers that are doing that. Macy's hasn't been able to develop that online presence as successfully. They are closing about 150 stores that aren't performing well. That's about 30% of their locations, and they're doing that by 2026. They do, however, plan to invest more in about 350 of their stores. And they are focusing more on the luxury brands like Bloomingdale's and Bluemercury. Because those have more profit margins.
Sure. So, and they've done well, right?
Yes.
Those luxury brands are insane. It used to be, sell cheap stuff to a lot of people and you make a lot of money. It seems like now sell Louis Vuitton to a few people and you kill it. It's crazy, that market.
It really is. And we're seeing more consolidation in retail. We saw earlier this week that Saks, of course, the Saks Fifth Avenue is the flagship in New York City.
Yep.
They are buying out Neiman Marcus for $2.65 billion. And Amazon is actually going to be helping funding that deal. So we're seeing some more consolidation in the retail space. And I think this Macy's proposal of what was it, 6.9 billion that these activist investors are asking for, I think we're going to be seeing more activity in this space.
Yeah, this is interesting. Just a couple of notes I'm seeing online here. I guess Macy's first quarter 2024 earnings were 27 cents, significantly above the analyst estimate of 14 cents, which that's a big beat. Revenue is a little lighter. So I'd love to know what these guys see in the brick and mortar part of this. Maybe there's some little magic here. But you did say something I didn't know. Amazon is involved in the Neiman Marcus takeover, right?
Yes.
They already have the online presence, so I like that version of it. That one I like, just like I liked Whole Foods. So that one's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's interesting because Amazon is already helping the cheaper Chinese brands like Shein and Temu
Yeah.
have more access to the U.S. markets, which is more of the affordable brands. But the fact that they're also getting into this luxury space is
Right.
definitely noteworthy.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, good. That's a good one. Macy's is curious to me. I don't know what I want to do with that one yet. I got to look at it. Last one, number 3, Bitcoin blunder. Bitcoin doesn't go down, does it? What the heck?
Bitcoin never goes down. That's why everybody is in crypto, right?
It says it right here. What? Okay, so you say it's dropped to 11%.
Yeah.
Now it's trading in the 55,000 range ish. So what's going on with Bitcoin? There's a little bit of drama here, right?
Yeah, there's a few things that are putting some selling pressure on Bitcoin. The first one is, so there was this hack back in 2014 on this cryptocurrency firm called Mt. Gox. It was a firm, I think it was Japanese based. It was operating from 2010 to 2014. It got hacked, and the people that were impacted by that hack, that's being settled, and 140,000 Bitcoins are being redistributed. And that is leading to a lot of sell-off fears. And that's making people, take some profits. So that's one of the events. But another event has been sparked by the German government. And they've been active in the crypto market. They're moving around 3,000 Bitcoin valued at $172 million. On July 4th, during that week, there was a transaction of transferring 1,300 Bitcoins to major exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, and others. And then there was an additional transaction of 1,700 Bitcoin that was moved to a separate wallet. And we're also seeing, outside of obviously the German government, the US is trying to confiscate some Bitcoin as it relates to criminal activities. So all this is putting some selling pressure on Bitcoin, and causing people to transfer their digital assets. So that's the Bitcoin news.
Wow. I don't get, how do you hack how do you do that? How do you hack it?
Yeah.
I mean, Bitcoin you have to mine, right? The actual Bitcoin itself, where you have wallets. You got to mine that. You have you play on a computer and figure that out, which I could never do. But how do you hack it and steal them? I mean, just great criminals can do this?
I think it doesn't necessarily have to do with the Bitcoin blockchain, because with the Bitcoin miners, like you said, there's a lot of algorithms and transactions. I'm not really sure what goes into that, but apparently that blockchain is so difficult to crack. I don't think that's where the hacking took place. I think it was on the cryptocurrency exchange itself, where there was maybe some vulnerabilities. Those hackers were able to, I guess, penetrate that network, and it impacted many holders that were operating on that crypto exchange, which led to this case. But ultimately, it seems like it's settled, and the people that lost money are getting reimbursed. But that's not really good news for the cryptocurrency market.
Right. With Bitcoin, though, there's a finite number of these. Isn't it like 21 million or something like that? Some crazy number. And they're not going to make any more of them, right?
Yeah, that's what the white paper says. And that's why they kind of synonymize Bitcoin with the new digital gold, because gold is also scarce, which is one of the characteristics that makes it valuable. Given that there's only 21 million Bitcoins that are supposed to be mined, that is supposed to have an element of scarcity to Bitcoin as well.
Sure. Interesting. Are you a Bitcoin person? I mean, do you like this asset?
I think I like the technology a little bit better than actual Bitcoin. I don't know if I'm sold on it yet. I still have to, and it's only because I need to learn more about it. But I'm definitely bullish on blockchain for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I think your notes say that Bitcoin's trading around 55,000, let's call it, give or take. Which I remember when it first came out, it seemed like when I first paid attention, it was 3,800.
Yeah.
And then it rallied forever, and then we had that big sell off with Sam Bankman-Fried and that whole deal. And now 55,000 seems pretty lofty still. But I think I've heard people say it's going to 1 million. I mean, really? 1 million?
Mhm.
I believe anything, I guess. I don't know.
There are so many different projections out there. I remember I remember one time, it might have been during the pandemic, it rallied all the way to over 70,000, I
Yeah.
believe, or something like that.
Right.
And there were projections to 500,000. So yeah, I'm sure there's, like you said, there's one that says it's going
Right.
to 1 million.
I mean, am I really? How would I ever get this and use it as currency? You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have a wallet, and I can't carry it in a true wallet that I put on my body. And when I go to the store, what do? Do I just say, "Here's my Bitcoin"? You know, here's one Bitcoin. It's worth $55,000. Just give me my change. I mean, what am I gonna do with this?
Yeah, that's the whole question around utility. What is the utility right now? You can't you can't really transact, you know, fruitfully if you go out to the marketplace. So that's kind of one thing that's dinging it. But I feel like if there's progress there, I think that would be a huge catalyst for Bitcoin.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you know, the other thing too is, and you know, I've been saying this for a while, is that there's futures that track, you know, Bitcoin, the commodity or whatever we call this. So you could trade a futures, and it's regulated by the government, and you know, there's probably some bit of backstop there with the futures contract. I think I'd rather trade that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that with the activity becoming a little bit more widespread with crypto, like you said, there's ETFs now,
Right.
so maybe there's a little bit more liquidity there, which is
Mhm.
helping with its long-term price. I think we'll get a better understanding of what its future looks like, but right now I feel like it's definitely stalling, and yeah, it's in a holding period, I think.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of cool though. It's the new Gen Z sort of product, you know.
Yeah.
Mining for Bitcoins. Unbelievable. All right, this is great. I love it. Big plans this weekend or no? You're just gonna lay low?
Well, I'm going to try to stay out of the heat because it's very hot here in the New York City area. So whatever I do, hopefully I'll be.
It'll be near a pool, right?
Yeah, close to
Pool
a
drinks. I love it. All right. Well, this is great. Thanks for this. This was wonderful. I love this stuff. Next time we talk, maybe I'll come up with a couple trades on Nvidia and Macy's. I'll check it out, see what volatility looks like. Good.
Sounds great.
All right, Pauline, have a great weekend. Great to see you. And we'll catch up next Friday on the Brew. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.